to stay in the moment. You know, when those worst days are there, you have to stay in the moment. You can't keep looking at your big goal, your dream goal. You can't set those goals up there and then go in there and feel defeated. You can't go up there and go, shit, I got to be a $5 million company today, because you're going to be defeated. You got to go, hey, how do I get 1 sale today? And then tomorrow, how do I get 2 sales? And then the next day, how do I get 3 sales? It's AGB, always getting better 1%. So how do you get to that point? You have to stay in the moment. If we just listen sometimes to that weak voice inside our body that says, oh, you can do it later. Oh, hit the snooze button. Oh, put that off. You can eat that. Like, dude, like, that, dude. Like, smash that voice and take control. Smash that voice and say, that. I am going to do what I need to do to win. I have those really bad days where I just I don't even want to get up today. Like, I'm just exhausted. I don't want to put in the hours. I don't want to take the kids to school. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do a podcast. I don't want to coach. I don't want to help build this business. I don't want to do that today. Like, you get in these funks. Problem is you let those funks control you, and you have to control the funk. You have to understand that this is just a moment of feelings that will change. Your perspective and attitude will change several times throughout the day. Think about that. Your perspective and attitude will change several times throughout the day. So that moment that you're feeling down and there's going to be later on in the day that you feel good, or that you feel positive, or that you're angry, or that you're pissed. You're going to have all these emotions throughout the day. So don't sit on that one emotion and let that be the whole day. Don't let one moment be the whole day. Don't let one up control your life or your week or your month. Don't let one issue be the entire day. To remind yourself that this is just a bad moment. I'm going to get over this moment. This is just a bad hour. I'm going to get over this hour. This is just a bad day. I'm going to have a better day tomorrow. You have to make that micro. Make your good things macro, make your bad things micro. You have to manifest good things. You have to love yourself. Nobody will love you until you love yourself. And God gave you gifts. You have attributes, damn it. You just need to find out what they are and utilize them. You got to be open to that. You can't be negative or you're going to miss it. The clock is ticking. Your time is running out. Quit making excuses in life. Quit pointing the finger and trying to say, okay, this is just what I am. Quit setting your expectations and boxing out your goals in life and saying, this is all I am. No, you are more than that. You are whatever you want to be. I don't care what color you are, what gender you are, your education or where you come from. You are whatever the you want to be. But you've got to go manifest it, and you've got to put in the work. It's not easy. So as long as you're willing to grind and put in the work, and you stay positive and you manifest stuff, and you don't let those bad moments, those worst days control you, you get to where you want to go. You'll create your own map. 28,000 days is the average life. 28,000 days. What are you doing with each day? And you got to make each day count. And I know that's what cliche, what people say, but you really got to make each day count. Like I go in there, I struggle. I'm like, oh, I got to do something today. I have to kick myself in the ass sometimes to do anything. Quit making excuses. Your time right now is to go out and live your best life and be the best person that you can possibly be. And sometimes you're going to up. And sometimes you're going to have bad days. And sometimes it's going to seem like the worst days are still to come. And guess what? They are. But you know what else is to come? The best days. The best hasn't even happened yet. That's a fact. Because when you get through these storms, you get through these battles, there's blessings. We let intimidation and bad things dictate, like I said, the hour and the day. Stop. Make all that small. Start focusing on you controlling the day. Don't let one bad thing define the entire day, week, month, any of it. Don't let it be your headline. Your headline needs to be positivity, affirmations. Tell yourself good things. Focus forward. Fail forward. Continue to prevail. Don't take shit. Don't quit. Bust your ass. Don't take no for an answer. And don't cut yourself short by limiting yourself in your beliefs. Believe you can and you will. Bam! And we've all been in there where it's just, it rains, it pours. Well, yeah, that's what when it rains, and sometimes it pours. But you know what happens when it's done raining and pouring? A rainbow comes out and you just got your blessing. You went through your battle and you got your blessing. You stayed the course. We allow what people's status is to really determine how we're going to act. I mean, think about it. You pull into a parking lot with whatever car you have, And if there's many more nicer cars than yours, in most cases, you're like, oh, shit, it's kind of an embarrassing car. Or if your car is definitely the nicest and you're like, holy shit, I got the nicest car in the parking lot and you got a lot of swagger. It really determines, and it's sad, but that's the life we live in. You know, people are chasing likes more than they are love, more than they are money. It's like me, like me, like me, like me, which is crazy. But it's the world we live in. Almost always you want to be the buffalo. There are times you need to be the storm. What's that mean, Jayson? Great question. That means when you're the storm, everything is up for grabs, meaning no more time for bullshit. All in, let's go. You control the entire landscape. Being a buffalo means you have your map, you're ready to rock and roll. Oh, here's the storm. You run through it and hit it head on. When you're the storm, you're making the happen. You're the one that controls all of it. And it's hard to do and you can't do it every time. But there are times you got to be the storm. How to grow, how to hire, how to build culture. You know, there's 3 reasons why people take a job. 1, they take the job because they see career opportunity. They see the advancement. They see the staircase of growth. They're like, oh, I could do that. And you got to have real life examples. You got to showcase those employees that have started with you and grown up so you can say, hey, look, this can be you. That's 1. 2, money. Obviously, people want to chase some money. I get that. 3 is culture. You've got to learn how to do all 3 for your company. We're spending over $10 million a month on all digital ad spend to get customers. That's right, $10 million a month, $120 million a year. Do the math on that. You ain't met a that spends money like that to grow their business. So I want to take my knowledge and my experience and everything that I've got, my wins and my losses. People never want to talk about their losses. They want to beat their chest. I'm the champ. You a chump. Real men, real strength deal with their losses and hit them head on. Real can talk about it. They don't get all bowed up and like they're badasses on the phone and run their mouth on internet. No. And they think that they're God's greatest gift. I mean, they're all the same. Oh, I get the cars and I'm this guy and I'm yeah, look at me. I've never had money before. I went through that stage, dude. Trust me. Douchebag stage is what I call it. You need to learn to be real with people. They need to understand that not only are you relevant, but that you're relatable. They're like, that could be me. Like, how can I be better? Well, first of all, you got to do a gut check in the mirror and say, how can I be better? What you got to first own your problems. Okay. And 2, you got to talk about your losses with yourself, because if you just lose and you suppress it, you're not learning anything from it. You've got to swallow that and learn from a loss. You know, I'm here to talk about losses. I'm here to say, look, I've been to the top and then had my whole legs cut off and fell to the bottom, and I'm building the back up. That's what the I'm doing. Become the storm. You're going to make your path and create the landscape that you want. You're going to take your to the next level. You're not going to take no for an answer. You're not going to make excuses. You're not going to procrastinate, waste time. You're going to challenge yourself and push yourself. You need to get coaching so you can be held accountable. You're going to put down your KPIs. You're going to put down your 30, 60, 90, 180 goals, and you're going to go crush it. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to get out of my show. If anything else, you need to get that out of my show. You need to be like, that makes sense. Ding, the bell went off. I got to go out there and do this. I don't care if you're a single mom or you're stuck in a dead-end job or you just opened a company and you're struggling or the company is flourishing and you're doing 40, 50 million a year. Any one of those, I'm talking to all of you. You're hitting bumps, do something about it. And if you're not hitting bumps, then start becoming the storm so you can build the landscape up, because bumps need to come, because after you go through battles, you get blessings.
I can get to the top at this job and in this industry and also be the husband and father that I want to be. Like, those two things do not have to be mutually exclusive.
They can coexist. That's correct.
Yeah.
It's hard
I
to
don't
do
think
that
we have to
on
run
playing the
that
game, though, I would imagine, because you're having to go work out and do all the other things. I would imagine maybe that's a little tougher playing the game than it is doing what you're doing.
Yeah, sure. But I think that, like, we sell ourselves short too much. Like, we can't. Like, we can do both. We can do both.
What do you think about the Pittsburgh situation?
Like a legit open competition, Justin Fields will be their week 1 starter. If it's not fully open and it's Russell Wilson's job to lose, he won't lose it. He'll play consistent, kind of patient football and not give the ball away. He doesn't turn the football over. And Justin, it's going to be hard for Justin to take that job away in the preseason when You don't really get hit that much. You're not going to play a ton of reps. You're playing against backups. How likely is it that he does this play versus this defense in the NFL?
I've talked to other people and they don't talk football as good as you do in most cases. Like you are so, I mean, you're talking about the mechanical that's flawed on ex players. You're speaking about the systems and how much time they get into preseason and the reps that they're getting. So this is all great stuff. And this is why I get excited watching you on ESPN and
Thanks,
doing
man.
your thing.
Thank you.
I had Golden Tate on a couple weeks ago. And, he's playing a lot. Yeah, dude, such a good dude. And he said he's been asked many times who's the greatest quarterback he ever played with before Stafford won the Super Bowl. And he would tell everybody Matthew Stafford. They're like, you're crazy. He's like, dude, no, trust me. You get him on a team with an O-line and this. It's not even close, he said, right? But he said the best player he's ever, like most athletic player he's ever been around was Calvin Johnson. And he said, look, going into it, I felt like I'm the greatest receiver. Naturally, when you're in the NFL, you have an arrogance, you have a confidence about you that you're the best. So you wouldn't be there if you didn't have that. He said he would be running goes, nines or whatever with Stafford on the thing. And, he would go out there and he'd have to run. Stafford throw the ball so far, so fast, he'd have to run for his life to catch it. And Calvin would go out there and check his email while he's jogging, eating a hamburger, doing all the things and then just easily coat. And he said, that's the moment I said, I'm not even in this guy's planet. Right?
Yeah.
You got to be on that team. What was it like with Calvin?
Calvin's one of my favorite people ever. I often say the best way to describe Calvin was he had the physical talent of the number one pick in the NFL draft and the work ethic of the guy who was undrafted. So we would put this play in where they would put Calvin by himself and they would run him on a 5-yard hitch route. Run up 5 yards, turn around, Dan's going to get the ball, throw it right to you. And versus cover 3, again, they're giving you easy throws to the sideline. That's an easy play. Get that ball to Calvin. It's 8 yards. So I asked the question one day, I was like, well, what happens if they play cover 2? Now, the cover 2 rule, meaning, again, they're not going to give you that easy throw. There's going to be a defender there. That's a bad play, right? Like, great.
Yeah.
So we would just say, Calvin, if you see cover 2, just run a go route.
And he'd run a go route.
So I go, right, but he's getting double teamed in that situation. Yeah. Like, they're taking him away. So, hey, what are we going to do if they run the cover 2? And they're like, just throw it to Calvin. I'd be like, I know. Like, give me something better. And they're like, just throw it to Calvin. So certainly we call that play in the game, and I'll be friggin' danged that they play cover 2. And so I'm like, you know what? I try to be like a prick. I'm like, fine, I'll throw it to Calvin just to prove my point. Drop back, just launch this toaster to Calvin, 45-yard catch off the double team. And I said, all right, throw it to Calvin. So just a remarkably physically talented guy, but as talented as he was, the character was better. It was weird because I loved football so much that when football was over, it was almost like a breakup and I wanted nothing to do with it. I wanted to prove that I was more than just football. And then, I started to break plays down on social media just because I love football. I love the nerd element and the X's and O's of football, and getting into the media element of things. It allowed me to never go through that dark period of like, okay, what do I do now? And it gave me a new goal. I don't want to say a new purpose, but it just gave me something new to try to go be great at. And, I always told people I somehow got lucky enough to become one of the best in the world at something. And I wanted to try to become one of the best in the world at something else. I'm not one of those people who say, well, being a TV personality is what I do. It's not who I am. My life is kind of what it is. Like it's not that my identity's wrapped up in football or being at ESPN, but like it's a pretty big deal of like kind of my everyday life. And it doesn't hinder my ability to be the very best husband and father. So it's not that I don't run from that. Like I just don't run from it. I enjoy it and I love it. If I'm gonna put all this energy and time into it, like why would I not want to embrace it? So it's been a really cool journey. It's obviously happened way faster than I thought. But I feel like I'm just getting started in it as well.
Winning doesn't care how sore you are. Winning doesn't care how much sleep you get. Winning doesn't care how hard you work at times. And sometimes a guy might outwork you and it isn't fair and he wins. And sometimes there's no justice to that. Winning requires all of you and then more, and it's the promises you nothing It's a mastermind in your own mind. Fear and doubt in your own mind. It causes setback after setback. So question is about winning. Are you willing to sacrifice everything you've got for the unknown? Are you willing to take a chance and not have what you want? Are you willing to sit here and put in all the effort because you want to win so bad, and the results might not be where you want to, what you want them to be? In order to win, if that's what you want to do and that's what makes you happy, then you've got to figure out what the cost of that is and is it worth it? Maybe your job is, you're in sales and you want to win. Well, how the do you win? Well, you've got to study. I'm a big believer in any kind of sales, any kind of position. Life is like a golf course, right? We all have our own rough that we got to deal with, the out of bounds, the water, the sand bunker, all that shit. It's the same thing in sales. You can't make excuses that one guy's numbers are better than yours. Your score is your score. And the cost there of winning is that person that's winning, they're sacrificing more than you. They're putting in more effort, more time, more energy, studying more, doing the things they need to do to win. Sometimes when you win, you lose. Sometimes you sacrifice too much to win. Sometimes you think and you're chasing the wrong thing to win, and you lose something you really enjoyed and had. We have to have more gratitude and be grateful for what we have and not worry and stress about what we don't have. Now, don't get that twisted with, I still want to win. I want to climb the mountaintop. I want to be at the top of the mountain. I want to raise my hand. I want to do all the things. And if you're listening to my show, you probably want to do all the things too. But you got to pick what you're going to sacrifice and what you're chasing to win. First of all, you have to ask yourself if you want to win it. Because if you don't want to win it, this show today is not for you. If you just like where you're at and you're not hungry, this show's not for you. You should probably turn the fucking show off. Listen to something else. Go listen to somebody that's going to tell you, hey, it's okay. Here's your participation trophy. Good job, Jimmy. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to tell you that, look, if you want to win, you got to listen to the show. You got to pay attention. You got to write down what the it is you want to win at. Everybody's life's different. Everybody's version of winning is completely different. What is winning to you? First of all, you got to ask that question. What is winning to me? What is it that I need to do to win? What looks like a win to me? What is it I'm winning at? Like, you start writing all this stuff down. Then you say, what is it going to cost me to win? What do I got to put in to win? What is my risk versus the reward? How do I get to the next level? Stormy's in a lot of things, which is exciting because a lot of people just kind of do one thing. Do you got ADD? Because I got ADD and I like to sprinkle dust places. Do you have ADD?
No, I call it ADB, attention deficit benefit. It's a benefit for me. It's not a disorder. I don't have no disorders. Every day is a new day to heal whatever trauma could have happened yesterday. So that's my biggest challenge, to make sure that no matter what, I don't get comfortable. And I know that there's another layer to me. A lot of people get stuck in one aspect of who they are, one perspective, one place, one position, one title. But I'm really focused in this season of my life and making sure I embrace the totality of Stormy, unapologetically. Like, I don't care what you may think of me. There's multiple layers to me. I'm multifaceted, multidimensional. So that's one thing. And then as an entrepreneur, a lot of entrepreneurs, such as myself, we came up in environments where we didn't see successful entrepreneurs. My mom was a street entrepreneur. So, of course, I'm thinking that the only way I could be an entrepreneur is if I did something illegal. I never saw a legal business structure in my family. I never saw anybody run a real business and pay taxes and have payroll and, reorder inventory or whatever. I never saw that. So I had to do a lot of work and learn from a lot of mentors and coaches to become the woman that I am today in terms of entrepreneurship as well. It's two fears. There's a fear that makes you stop and there's a fear that makes you go. And I decide to be driven by the fear that makes me go. And the fear that makes me go is that I don't want to stop living this lifestyle. Like, I love my lifestyle. I love waking up when I finish sleeping. I love being able to help people. I love being able to serve people. I love being able to grow with my authenticity and then go back and help people. So I'm just helping the person that I used to be, and I refuse to go back to the person that I used to be. Listen, authenticity carries the highest frequency. So the more authentic you are within yourself, the higher your attraction power, your magnetism is going to be, and that's going to help you to acquire whatever level of success you're desiring.
Amen to that. Very well said. And I love you talk about comparison's the thief of joy. My wife says that all the time.
I mean, number one, comparison is the thief of joy. The more you compare yourself to somebody else, the more you're going to steal your own joy. So be careful the things that you create for yourself. I think it's beautiful you see a woman and she looks good. Instead of being jealous or trying to be like her, look at her and say, wow, she's beautiful. She is real to me and I can look like that. I'm always affirming. Like, if I see something that I like, I would say, wow, look at that house. That is real to me and I can have that house. Or like yesterday, I went to a beautiful hotel and I love the ambiance of the hotel. And the whole time I'm looking at it, I'm saying, wow, this is real to me and I can have this in my penthouse. So I instead of looking at somebody and trying to be like them, admire, inspire, go do the work to create that feeling for yourself. So if that's lose weight, if that's go learn something, if that's get rid of somebody, if that's change your clothes, if you like a girl, her hair or her body, go do it. Now, be careful that you're not trying to be a Photoshop version of somebody in your real life. I think pain will teach you what pride won't allow you to learn. I think that pain is just an indication that it's something that you need to do. I think it was the Army. Is this the Army that says pain is weakness leaving the body? Yep. So pain to me is a beautiful thing. Most of us learn from the pain. We grow from the pain. It's not, we don't learn how to ride a bike because we got on it and we just pedal correctly. We learn to ride a bike when we fall and we skid our knees so much, we like, okay, I'm sick of this, Yeah. We don't learn how to love until we learn what it feels like to be disappointed and to be used or to be manipulated. And then we figure out how to love because we got sick and tired of something. So pain to me has been major pivots for me. Every pain point created a pivot for me. So I embrace pain. I appreciate pain. Pain is my friend. And so long as I feel like pain is my friend, pain can never conquer me. And so that's just my attitude. And, I come from some very treacherous beginnings. So I can't let nothing destroy me. I watched my mom take her last breath. So what worse pain can you experience than watching your mom take her last breath? So nothing really hurts me that bad these days because that was the hardest thing that I ever had to experience. Timmy, give it to me.
I'm going to give it to you, girl. So the difference between a cow and a buffalo, when a storm comes, the storm is coming through. A cow sees the storm, turns around and tries to run away from the storm. A buffalo sees the storm, puts his head down and runs right through the storm. The reason why the cow is running away from the storm is they're running away from their problems. They're running away from their fear. They're running away from their anxiety. They're letting things control them. They're nervous. They're scared. All of the bad stuff is chasing them, and it just never seems to end. They're in that storm or battle so much longer. Where a buffalo runs through it, and they see the light, they see the blessing, and they get through that storm. They face it head on. I did a TED Talk about it, of how important it is for us to have like a buffalo mindset and not be like a cow and run from something, but run towards it. And so your personality, when you're like, I embrace pain, it went ding. It exactly is like a buffalo mindset. Let me get through this mess and this nonsense to get to where I need to go.
Pain is my friend. I'm the buffalo. You know what? You right. Cows, you could look at a cow and a cow get to running. I'm the buffalo. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.